Hey guys, it's East Texas Wildman here. Today I wanted to talk about guns for bug out. Okay, this is just a quick intro into weapons for bug out. This is my opinion on guns uh, and the processes that I use when I'm selecting the weapons that I would carry. This video is for beginners. This is not for the gun enthusiast. You've already been through all this. You've already made your determinations. You've already figured out what is best for you. There's a lot of opinions on this. So, you gun enthusiasts, if you have any comments, productive comments, please feel free to comment below. And we'll get this thing going. Hold on. Okay guys, let's talk about bug out weapons. Okay. First, let me say this. If this scares you, and if you think that this thing just by being in your house is going to go off and kill somebody, you should probably not carry a weapon. But if you're willing to overcome that, then you should take proper training, get the proper training, so that you can overcome that fear. This is just a tool. It's just a hammer. You got to learn how to drive the nails. And if you can't overcome that, then you shouldn't carry a weapon at all, period. At least a firearm. Okay, so do you need a weapon for a bug out? And which kind of weapon should you carry for a bug out? Well, that depends on the situation. You know, if you're doing a long-term bug out, you know, end of the world scenario, then yeah, you know, that dictates what type of weapons you carry. If you're bugging out temporarily because there's a fire raging and you just need to get away, you know, I would suggest the only weapon that needs to be carried is by those that have concealed carry or open carry or whatever their state law and a license to carry the weapons. You would always carry your weapon for protection if you're licensed to do so. Okay, so I have criteria when I'm picking weapons. And the weapon, I use this criteria when I'm picking weapons to bug out. These are the last 3 weapons I have. This is what I'm taking with me. Everything else I'm leaving behind. So I want to make sure that these weapons are going to be to cover all the whole range, the whole gambit of things that I may encounter and the uses that I may have for them. So let's go see. I have 4 primary considerations. One is, what am I carrying it for? Am I carrying it to hunt with, or am I carrying it for security? Next would be, how fast am I needing to move, and how far am I going to move? And that kind of goes into 3 with, how much does this weapon system weigh, and the ammo and all the accoutrements that need to go with it. And 4, how durable and easy to maintain is that weapon system for me in the field. I'm not going to carry super high-end, you know, maybe very accurate and very powerful weapon that's delicate. I don't want that. It's not going to do me any good. And then I take those 4 criteria and I match them up to the most common calibers used today, and to pick my weapons. And the reason I do that is because, one, if I bug out on foot, I can't carry much ammo on my back. I might have 10,000 rounds per weapon, but I can't carry that much weight. I physically cannot do it. If I'm bugging out a vehicle, yes, I can carry it, only as long as that vehicle's running and I have fuel for that vehicle. Then I'm back on foot. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a good bug out location, a secure bug out location, that you have a cache of weapons or ammo at, then you're good to go. You can carry any kind of ammo, any kind of weapon you want to carry, and the exotic ammos that go with it. But for the most people, you want to carry something that's common so that you can scavenge, if you have to, ammo to replace what you've used or for those weapon systems. You know, this gun without any bullets is just a paperweight. So you have to be able to find ammo for them. So let's talk about common ammos. So we have 22 long rifle and 12 gauge. The most common ammos in the United States, bar none. Then after that, I would go with 9mm, 45, maybe 40 Smith & Wesson, 357, 38, 5.56 or 223 for an AR type platform, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 30-30, 30-06, 308, maybe. Those are common ammos. So any of the weapons that I carry are going to fit within those common ammo stuff that I can scavenge. So when I buy a weapon, I'm thinking of, well, I'm not going to go buy a 7mm mag because if anything ever happened, I have a hard time finding ammo. Even if I bugged in, it'd be a hard ammo to replace. I mean, I may have a stash of it, but once I use that up, then that gun just becomes a paperweight. So that's a consideration when I buy a weapon. So know your, well, let's talk about buying a gun. When you buy a gun, go into a gun shop, find a dedicated gun shop. Don't go to Walmart. Go find a dedicated gun shop. Have that. You don't have to buy it there, but you can get fitted for a gun, and then maybe buy it someplace where it's cheaper or whatever. But get fitted for a weapon. Find a gun that feels comfortable to you, and test it out. Most gun shops have indoor ranges where you can actually fire weapons, so you can determine a caliber that you feel like you can either work yourself into or is comfortable for you now. And then after you've purchased the weapons, get to know it intimately. So the first thing you need to really know is know how to safely use a weapon. Next is you need to know how to shoot it. You shoot it accurately. Then you need to know how to maintain this weapon, how to clean it. You need to know how it works internally. You need to know how to take this thing down, every pin, every spring, and put it back together. And then you need to know the weaknesses of that weapon, which is easy to do. You get on the internet, Google it, and you'll find people that say, you know, after so many rounds, this spring wears out, or these magazines don't feed properly. So you take that in consideration when you're buying a weapon. You take that weapon, and if it has a flaw somewhere, say a particular type of magazine doesn't feed well, make sure you don't get any of those magazines. And have ample magazines to go with it. If there's a spring that wears out after so many shots or whatever, buy a couple of those extra springs, put them in your cleaning kit. Okay, and then for every weapon system you have, you should have something to clean it with. And there's a variety of cleaning kits on the market. You know, cleaning rods, there's the pull-through, I forgot what they call them, the pull-through cleaning systems, the barrel snakes. And they come in a variety of little pouches and stuff like this. They're not big, they're small, skinny. They can go easily in a pack anywhere. This is a military issue M16 clean kit. It has everything you need to clean an M16 or an AR. What you would do is, if you're carrying more than one weapon, or you're carrying a different weapon than an AR, you would make sure you could keep a lot of the components in here, like the cleaning rods and the oil and the swab and all that kind of stuff. Just make sure you put the brushes, the barrel brushes and chamber brushes, and maybe a toothbrush and stuff like that in here to handle the weapon that you have, that you're carrying. or the multiple weapons that you're carrying. Make sure you have all the brushes in here. So another consideration when you're buying your weapons is who's carrying it, and the weight of the system, the ammo and all that. So like for this is a 45 here, and it has a double stack 45 magazine. It's pretty heavy. This is just one magazine. You know, you would want to carry multiple magazines loaded. But this one magazine weighs more than this 22 pistol does altogether. So, you know, that's a consideration. Next is the ammo. This is a 100 round of 22 mini mags. And very good ammo. Very good. I mean, it'll do damage. But that weighs a fraction of 50 rounds of ACP ammo. So, you know, weight is a consideration when you're buying a weapon. Okay, so probably the most important thing I can say is whatever you do, as far as weapons, especially for a beginner, is to get training. Get all the training you can get. Learn how to safely use it, learn how to accurately use it under different situations, and get all the from basic all the way up to as advanced as you can go training on these weapons. Become very comfortable with them, become intimate with your weapons. If you had to choose one weapon, I would choose a 12 gauge shotgun, a 12 gauge pump shotgun. It's the most versatile of all. Okay, in a bug out situation, I think that carrying a sidearm is a minimum, or a shotgun is a minimum for your protection. But it's no good if you're not willing to use it. So learn how to use them. Come to grips with the possibility that you may have to use it. That's not a pretty picture, but it's a reality, and we always plan and train for the worst case scenario. If you can't use this on somebody that's attacking you, chances are they're going to take it away from you and use it on you. So, things to consider. Weapons. You may want to go with something less lethal if you have a problem with handguns or any kind of gun. Anyway, just some thoughts, guys. Some ideas on what you may bug out with. Okay, this is East Texas Wildman. I'll see you guys out there. God bless.